The date is February 26, 1995, and because of the lapse in judgment of one man, a 233-year-old business called Barings Bank has just collapsed. Leeson wasn't born into wealth. He wasn't a product of high society or prestigious universities. He was the son of a plasterer from Watford, England, a working-class boy with no connections to the elite world of finance. But he had something else: drive, hustle, a willingness to outwork everyone around him. In the 1980s, after barely scraping through school, he landed a low-level job in the back offices of Coutts Bank. He wasn't trading stocks or making million-dollar deals. He was processing paperwork, but he was watching, learning, understanding the mechanics of the system. And then, he got his break. In 1989, he was hired by Barings Bank and sent to Jakarta to help settle a financial mess involving missing funds. He handled it perfectly. His reward? A transfer to Singapore, a crucial financial hub, and a new frontier for Barings Bank. His job? To run Barings operations on the Singapore International Monetary Exchange, SIMEX. A dream position, but also a dangerous one. Because in Singapore, Leeson had power, more power than he should have, and he would use it to build an empire of lies. Leeson was in charge of both executing trades and settling accounts. In simple terms, he was both the player and the referee, and that should never happen. But Barings didn't see the problem, because at first, everything looked perfect. Leeson was making millions, huge profits, consistent wins. His bosses back in London didn't question how he was doing it. They just wanted more. But behind the scenes, there were losses, hidden, buried inside an account that no one was supposed to see. Account 88,888. To anyone looking at the main books, Leeson was still making money. London was happy. But what started as $20,000 soon became $200,000, then $2 million, then $20 million. Leeson had created a monster, a secret black hole swallowing more and more money, and no one had a clue. By 1994, Leeson had dug himself into a deep hole. The losses in account 88,888 had ballooned to hundreds of millions of dollars. But Leeson believed he could fix it. He wasn't going to confess. He was going to gamble his way out. His strategy? A risky bet on the Nikkei 225, Japan's stock market index. Leeson was convinced that the Nikkei was about to rise. If it did, he could make millions in profit and erase his hidden losses. So he went all in. He used massive amounts of borrowed money to buy futures contracts on the Nikkei 225. The risk was enormous, but if it worked, he'd be a hero, a trading legend. And no one would ever know about account 88,888. For a moment, it seemed like it might work. The Nikkei held steady. There was even a slight upward trend. And then, January 17th, 1995, the Kobe earthquake hit Japan, and everything collapsed. January 17th, 1995. Just before dawn, the earth beneath Japan began to shake. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Kobe, a major financial hub. Within seconds, buildings collapsed like dominoes. Bridges snapped. Fires erupted. The devastation was staggering. 6,000 people killed. Over $100 billion in damages. But as rescue workers searched for survivors, another kind of disaster was about to unfold. On the trading floors of Asia, panic erupted. The Nikkei 225, Japan's main stock index, plunged. Hundreds of billions in market value were wiped out in hours. For most traders, it was an unpredictable catastrophe, an act of God. But for Nick Leeson, it was the final nail in the coffin. Leeson's entire strategy rested on one thing, that the Nikkei 225 would rise. But now, it was in free fall. Within a single day, his losses exploded past $500 million. By the end of the week, $1 billion. But instead of cutting his losses, instead of admitting the truth, he did something even more reckless. He doubled down. He placed an even bigger bet, borrowing more money, hoping for a miracle. That miracle never came. By February 1995, the losses in account, 88,888, had grown to a staggering $1.3 billion, more than twice the entire value of Barings Bank itself. And now, there was no way out. By late February, Leeson knew the truth. He was finished. There was no covering it up, no buying more time, no miracle trade that could fix this. So on February 23rd, 1995, he ran, leaving behind a single note on his desk. "I'm sorry." Then, alongside his wife, he boarded a flight from Singapore to Malaysia. From Malaysia, they fled to Thailand, then Germany. While he ran, back in London, Barings Bank was in free fall. Executives scrambled to unravel the books, and when they found the truth, the full extent of the losses, it was already too late. On February 26, 1995, after 233 years in business, Barings Bank collapsed. A financial institution that once handled the money of kings, queens, and empires was now worth nothing. The British government tried to intervene, a last-minute attempt to find a buyer, to rescue Barings before total collapse. But no one wanted a bank with $1.3 billion in debt. The damage was too severe. The trust was gone. And so, just like that, a centuries-old bank disappeared overnight, all because of one man. A single trader, operating unchecked, making reckless bets, hiding the truth, until it was too late. Hey, if you're enjoying the story so far and would like to support the channel, then head on over to dudedivision.com and grab an awesome design or a glove clip. It's the destination for those who refuse to blend in. Whether you're built for the grind, forged in fire, or just looking to wear something that stands out amongst the crowd, these designs speak louder than words. Visit dudedivision.com today and use code LOSTCHRONICLES for 15% off your first order. Stand tall, stay relentless. Now let's get back to the story. While Barings collapsed, Nick Leeson was on the run, but he wasn't invisible. His face was on every newspaper, every TV screen, the most wanted man in finance. His run didn't last long. On March 2nd, 1995, he was caught at Frankfurt Airport in Germany. At the time of his arrest, he was carrying a fake passport and $50,000 in cash, but there was nowhere left to hide. The game was up. Leeson was extradited back to Singapore. Nick Leeson stood in court with the world watching. His defense? He didn't set out to defraud anyone. He was just trying to fix a mistake, trying to win back the money he lost. But the judges saw it differently. They saw a man who had lied, deceived, and risked everything. On December 2nd, 1995, Leeson was sentenced to 6.5 years in Changi Prison, a brutal high-security facility known for inhumane conditions. For the first time, the rogue trader was powerless. No more deals, no more hidden accounts, just a prison cell. While Leeson sat in prison, Barings Bank was gone. Its remains were sold to ING for just £1, a symbolic sale to clear the wreckage. Hundreds of employees lost their jobs, investors lost millions, and the financial world was left stunned. How could one trader, one single man, bring down an entire 233-year-old institution? Because in finance, power without oversight is deadly, and Nick Leeson had absolute power. Leeson's story was a wake-up call. Governments around the world rushed to tighten financial regulations. Banks no longer allowed traders to both execute and settle their own trades. And risk controls were dramatically increased. Because if there was one lesson from Barings Bank's collapse, it was this: unchecked ambition is dangerous. One rogue trader can bring down an empire. And in 1995, that rogue trader was Nick Leeson. Trade wisely, my dudes. Well, that's the end of the story, but let us know in the comments what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe for more wild stories.